It's a sound that accompanies the arrival of spring. The male red-winged blackbird arrives at the breeding grounds and proclaims his territory. He flashes his brilliant red and yellow epaulettes and calls loudly, announcing that this is his stand of cattails. The tall ground cover is a valuable resource, providing the perfect habitat in which to build a nest. He spends much of the day perched on a high branch, singing his heart out and chasing away intruders. Female red-winged blackbirds look like an entirely different species. Her streaky brown plumage helps her blend into the foliage. Unlike the conspicuous perching of the male, she can often be found among the cattails. She has a white supercilium, or eyebrow, which runs from the base of the bill and finishes towards the back of the head. And, depending on how she's holding her feathers, you may catch a glimpse of rusty red coloring on her shoulders. Their range is huge, comprising most of Canada, the United States, Mexico, and parts of Central America. It's important to note that while their range is expansive, they tend to be found in areas where there is water, such as wetlands and marshes. This is especially the case for the breeding season. In the fall and winter, they can be found in grasslands and agricultural fields. Being a migratory species, their diet changes with the seasons and location. In the spring and summer, they eat mostly insects. And in the colder months, they eat grains and seeds. Of course, you may also find them visiting your backyard feeder, as they love cracked corn, millet, sunflower seeds, and suet. The scientific name of the red-winged blackbird loosely translates to scarlet flock member, which is very appropriate for such a social bird. With a large range comes a lot of variety in plumage, body size, and bill shape. There are 24 subspecies. One of these is known as the Bicolored Blackbird, found in coastal California. As the name implies, it is only two colors, black and red. It lacks the yellow border on the shoulders. There is also the Tricolored Blackbird. This is its own separate species and is found in a small area of California's Central Valley. The two biggest differences between this bird and the regular red-winged blackbird are that it has a white border on the shoulders instead of yellow, and its call is remarkably different from the red-winged blackbird. There's still more to know about plumage variation. Male redwings go through 3 distinct stages of plumage development. Fledglings start out with coloring that more closely resembles the adult female. In July or August, they will have their first molt. The feathers on the back are fringed with white and orangey brown, and the breast feathers are heavily streaked. At this stage, they have the indications of the shoulder patches with orange or yellowish trim. Then in July of the following year, they molt into the second stage of adult feathers. The breast becomes solid black, yet the back continues to be scaled. I happened to see a male in this stage of plumage making territory calls while foraging on the ground. His calls aren't as robust as some of the others, but he's clearly getting the hang of things. The following year, they molt into their final adult plumage with brilliant red and yellow on the shoulders. They will still have tan-colored scaling on the back feathers, which will wear off over time. Interestingly, if you look closely at this adult, you can still see traces of the leftover fringing. The male's red and yellow epaulettes are great carriers of information to other redwings and other birds, letting them know of his mood and intention. Similar to how a bird's crest feathers work, he's basically wearing his feelings on his shoulders. The song spread display is a familiar sight with puffed up shoulder feathers, a forward lean, and tail fanned out, while calling loudly. Its purpose is to defend territory and attract a mate. The older he gets, the more solid and shiny his black feathers become, and the red and yellow become more vibrant. With these outward signs of status, he's able to command the highest quality territories and the fittest mates. A male simply sitting within his territory, showing the epaulettes but not calling, is known as resting on territory. If he were to perch outside of his territory, he would likely be showing much less of the shoulder color. Red-winged blackbirds tend to forage in groups on neutral territory. During feeding, males will usually have their colors obscured, showing only a thin line of yellow. The purpose of this is to maintain harmony and to not provoke aggression. A male may also fly over his territory with epaulettes exposed and tail spread and slightly lowered. He does this in response to another male coming into his territory and approaching a female. Males are fearless and will chase predators out of their territory, even if it is a bird or mammal much larger than themselves. They match their predator's speed and stay just above and behind them, out of reach of sharp talons, beaks, or strong jaws. Male redwings are polygynous and mate with anywhere from 5 to 15 females. This also means that the territory can become crowded with nests. The females mostly mate with only the territory holder, but some will also mate with other males. Females collect mud, leaves, and long, pliable strands of vegetation to weave into a nest. The cattails conceal the nest very well and provide vertical structural support. She lays 4 blue eggs with dark speckles. Both the male and female participate in raising the chicks, although the female typically does more. Here you can see a male feeding his hungry chick who has recently fledged. Red-winged blackbirds are a lot of fun to study due to their boisterous nature. Do you have any experiences watching them that you'd like to share? Feel free to leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching. That's all for this time. I'll see you again soon.